Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome once again to Tarheel by Dark. This scene is set after the very last scene involving retouching up with the mages and getting everything touched base, including the recent pranking of Biltmore to try to keep him off guard for the to prep him for the upcoming knighting ceremony. Dr. Ekman is doing a little tinkering in his lab, and I need to roll one intelligence science roll, one wits plus crafts roll, and then a courage roll to get this working. So that's going to be, crap, I can't even read this screen right now because my glasses are missing. Oh, that's 6 dice. Okay, so that's 6, 7, 8. Take off the counter. So intelligence plus science roll to make sure that I got the raw idea right for the new cloak. And did somebody tell me? Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is neutralized, so you got 3.
Okay, so that's 3 successes. Okay, thank you. Okay, so that's 3 successes to get the design right. So this is going to be a cloak with, which will be actually seen in later scenes because I left it in the living room by mistake. The cloak is going to be one side completely fireproof. I'll have to make the wits plus crafts roll to actually design this. 5, 6. And how many successes did I get on that one? 5?
Looks like 4.
Yeah, 5.
Okay, so with 5 successes, I've got that set. That basically sets up, so it's flamed on one side, and Dr. Ekman basically puts fire gel on the other. Fire gel, for those of you who don't know, is a trick whereby you light it on fire, but the heat does not get through to the other side. It basically just burns out, and the person who's coated in fire gel remains unharmed. And now for the final piece, which is a courage roll to actually set this thing on fire in the first place, as a test run. Failed. So my character just basically doesn't figure he can actually set this on fire right now.
Yeah.
It's just like
he can't bring himself to actually light it.
Yeah, can't bring himself to actually light it. But what he'll do is he'll keep the lighter around anyway and wait for Annika. Dr. Ekman proceeds to text Annika. Hey Annika, got a surprise for you if you're up for it. Do you mind if I pop by?
Annika replies back, "Sure. I'll be upstairs waiting for you," and proceeds to.
Yeah. Now, because of pre-existing work, Dr. Ekman hasn't. Dr. Ekman knows where the Bodhi Island Lighthouse is, but he's never actually entangled to it, so I'm gonna have to do that. Entangling to the front door. There's the wits plus crafts roll, and that was.
Actually, do you have your tech back?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, you. Like I said, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the scenes with Walt, but my character has the tech back. It's currently stashed in the Church of Bethel, but my character can use it as a waypoint to be able to set up entanglements elsewhere. He just can't entangle to the Church of Bethel. So yeah, that was okay. That was a failure at difficulty 8. Rerolling at difficulty 9. 5, 6. Yeah, that's 2 successes to get the entanglement, and he opened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Specialty physics to open the wormhole to Annika's door, and that one was a difficulty 8. 4 successes I'm seeing here.
Yeah. Same here. I see 4.
2, 3, 4. Okay, good. So with 4 successes down, Dr. Ekman knocks on Annika's door and proceeds to pop his head around. I should mention he's wearing a cloak at this time. Again, the cloak will be seen in the next scene, so you guys will get an idea of how ominous this looks. And he's also carrying some stuff over his shoulder.
All right. You ported actually to the back door of the keeper's quarters, which are just slightly a few, maybe 20, 30 feet from the actual lighthouse itself. But you're there.
Okay. Well, actually, no. Well, the thing is, I had entangled directly to the front door using Google Earth. That's why Dr. Ekman knocked on the door and opened it.
Yeah,
Here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. There really is no per se front door, so to speak, to her office.
The Bodhi Island, no, to the Bodhi Island Lighthouse itself.
You would have come to the keeper's house because that's where Annika actually stays.
Oh, okay. So front door of the keeper's house. No matter. I just wanted to make sure that it was a door because if it's not a door, I get violation that may just take away the technology again.
No, you're good. It's the door.
Okay,
You're good.
just want to make sure. So Dr. Ekman knocks on the door through the wormhole and says, "May I come in?"
Annika has not made it upstairs yet, so one of her ghouls, a lady by the name of Sarah, goes and opens the door.
As she opens the doors,
Go ahead.
as she opens the door, she sees a portal to a laboratory in front of the door, and she also sees a figure wearing a cloak and a hood, standing there and saying, "Lady Annika is expecting me," or "Dame Annika is expecting me."
Sarah just kind of stands there blinking for a few minutes as Annika enters the room and says, just roll with it, Sarah, and kind of pushes her out of the way.
Dr. Ekman walks in with the cloak, and Dr. Ekman walks in with the cloak and says, "Hey, I got remember that surprise I told you about? Well, two surprises. Number one, I've got the metamaterial cloak fully fixed now. It can now it can now actually slow the rate of burn slow the burning of our will of resolve when we're walking in the sunlight. I had a little help from the mages, and apparently the Archangel Raphael had one of his subordinates involved in this. So, so yeah, this is going to be particularly interesting. I could only get two made, but at least there are two now, and there should be one big enough for two people to slip under. The second thing I have in mind is something regarding my new idea for my proposal for my new show that I'm going to do when Biltmore Knights me. He hands her a lighter and says, "Would you be so kind as to light this cloak on fire, please?"
Are you fucking insane?
I apparently couldn't quite get the courage to light this thing on fire, but the science is all sound on this. The science is all sound. I should remain unharmed as long as I'm wearing the cloak. And it won't spread to anything else. I specifically use flame gel in order to be able to keep the fire contained.
Are you fucking insane?
Dr. Ekman gives this another try. It was standard difficulty before, right?
Yes.
So it'll be difficulty 7 at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hate having to count out dice. And oh yes, that's 4 successes this time. Sorry, yeah, 3 successes this time. Dr. Ekman successfully lights the cloak on fire, and all of a sudden he goes up in a whoosh of flame while the hood's on. But here's the funny part: nothing else goes on fire. Annika, you may want to roll.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a courage roll.
Yeah, it still is.
That's still gonna be a courage roll for me.
Yeah. So yeah, you might want to roll a courage roll.
Hold on, my hangout's frozen.
I can still hear you.
Yeah, but I can't do anything.
You want me to roll it for you?
Okay, hold on. I've got it now. Just waiting
Okay.
for that stream to come up. Yeah. Fail.
Shit. Dr. Ekman gets tackled.
No, you don't get tackled. You hear holy mother of fuck as Annika
she
heads
breaks
for the door.
the window. She breaks for the window.
She breaks the window?
He's standing at the door. He's standing at the door, so she breaks for the window.
I'm going for the window.
Dr. Ekman rolls movement of the mind. Now, Will, this is where I wanted admin ruling on this. Correct me if I'm wrong, because of the fact that fire, one of the major components of fire is oxygen, right?
Yeah.
And now, correct me if I'm wrong, the movement of the mind works on line of sight.
I believe so, yes.
So theoretically speaking, now this is Dr. Ekman's reasoning on this, and this is also my reasoning, so I want admin ruling on this. Theoretically speaking, if I succeeded in rolling at a high enough difficulty for the willpower, Dr. Ekman should be able to create a vacuum around himself and push the air far enough away that he can choke out the fire on his cloak.
Theoretically.
Okay.
How would you create that vacuum though? Just by moving the air?
Yes, by physically pushing the air away. By physically pushing the air away from the cloak. Now the cloak is surrounding him, and basically he can see the little.
That
I know it's pushing it, but the thing is, I'm wanting to see if it's actually
That's pushing it. Go for it at a difficulty of 9.
That's fair. More than fair. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One success got neutralized, but I got one success. Does that put out part of the fire?
You got it pushed away enough to put the fire out. Yeah, you've got it. If the fire is dying away.
Okay. As the fire dies.
Just as you do that, Sarah comes back in the room with a bucket of water and dumps it on you.
Dr. Ekman chuckles and goes, "Well, no worries. Thanks for the backup. Thanks for the backup, Sarah. But if I'm not mistaken, sorry. Thanks for the backup. I didn't mean to say Sarah because my character doesn't know the ghoul's name.
No, you probably know Sarah.
Yeah, right,
You've known Annika for long enough. You probably know her.
Yeah. Dr. Ekman says, "Thanks, Sarah. But I've managed to get the fire under control with myself. It looks like my new success has worked. Now, quick question: do you still have? Does Annika have her cell phone on her so that's why I can give her a call?
She probably does. She doesn't really go anywhere without it.
Could you give her a call, please, and I'll try to talk her down now that the fire's gone?"
Yeah. So, yeah. Sarah rings Annika and puts it on speaker so that you can talk to her.
Hey, Annika, the fire's out. The fire's out. There's no harm done, and I will pay you for the damage to the window. You can come back now. Everything's fine. Now,
you hear somebody on the other end muttering in Swedish and then a brick comes flying through the window. Hold on, I'm going to use potence for this. A brick comes flying through the window at you.
Can I roll movement of the mind to stop it in its tracks? Will, can I roll movement of the mind to try to stop this in its tracks?
As far as actually catching it, no, but you can divert it.
That's what I meant. Yeah, I meant so it doesn't strike you in the face.
All right, so you spent 1 blood to do that. Now it'll take another blood to
wait.
It'll take another blood to do the next.
Wait, how
movement of the mind requires a blood expenditure.
It does? Nobody told me that.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, I'll start spending blood from here on in accordingly.
Yeah.
So what would I be rolling for the brick, Will? Strength.
Are you
brawl?
Are you targeting him?
Yeah, I'm throwing it at him.
Just to throw it. Yeah, it would be a strength melee actually because you're using a weapon.
So
Dex melee.
So I'm spending. Wait, am I spending 2 blood or 1?
You spent 1 for the put out the fire. It'll take another blood expenditure to put out to divert the brick.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to bother diverting the brick. I'll just try to roll. I'll just try to soak the damage as it comes in.
All right. It's going to be bashing.
So I'm using. Can you remind me how to do the potence, please?
All right. Potence is automatically added to your strength. So it's actually a dex at this point, not strength.
It's dex, not strength, for me to throw a brick. Dex. Okay, it's the same number of dice. But does that mean that the potence doesn't do anything then?
Throwing an object. Yeah. Okay. So you know what? Screw it. We'll make it a strength. We'll make it a strength melee in this case. It would be a brawl if you were unarmed. The brick counts. Brick is enough to make it a melee.
Okay. So, do I add my potence now or next roll?
It's done in the. Let me double check, but I believe it's done to the actual to the damage.
I seem to remember that we were doing it to the damage. It's hot in here, and my brain's gone melty.
Yes, damage.
Okay.
You got 1 success there?
1 success to throw the brick at you.
All right,
So
now
then,
you'll add that 1 success. Add that 1 success to your strength plus 1, and then you'll add your the number of success, the number of automatic successes equal to how many dots of code you have.
Okay.
So how much damage did I take?
Ow. 4 bashing.
4 bashing. Can I roll stamina for 1 of that?
Ow. If straight stamina.
4 bashing damage to the face.
Ow.
Rolling 1 to start that. I fail, so I take 4 bashing. 4 bashing puts me at bruised, hurt, injured, wounded. Oh crap! I'm at a -2.
Keep in mind though, it's bashing. It's bashing. You can heal that up with little or nothing.
I can heal that up with what? I didn't hear you.
You can heal that up with little or nothing. It's not like it's lethal.
How much blood do I need to spend to heal that?
Typically 1 per.
1 per?
Yeah.
If I'd spent movement of the mind on the brick, I might have actually saved myself the time and trouble. Idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
You didn't know. It's not gonna. To be honest, down by 2 is not gonna be a major thing.
Yeah, down by 2 is gonna be really.
It's okay. Guthrie. Well, it'll be dealt with later. Anyway.
Yeah.
Annika comes
own.
through another.
It'll eventually heal on its own 1 hour per. It will take you to go from bruised to wounded. It takes you 1 hour. What are you at right now?
I'm at wounded because bruised, hurt. Yeah, bruised, hurt, injured, wounded because I took 4 bashing.
All right. It'll take. I'm gonna say it'll take 1 hour per status.
So I got 4 hours, and I'm gonna be at. Oh, this is bad. Oh boy.
That you don't have to spend blood for that though. It'll automatically heal unless you do spend blood, and spending blood will make it automatic. But if you spend blood, you're gonna be low.
Yeah, no, I'm already down at 9 blood as it is. So yeah, 9 blood, and I'm at wounded.
I would just let the time pass. It's.
All right. Well, I'll work.
To be honest,
I'll work
really
accordingly with the missed dice when I start rolling. Dr. Ekman goes,
that's
"Ow!" Dr. Ekman yells, "Ow! That hurt!"
And returns to the lighthouse through another entrance and comes back into the room. Don't pull that shit again, Ekman.
Dr. Ekman says that was supposed to be a trial run before I go. That was supposed to be a trial run before my Arthurian presentation for my knighting ceremony.
Annika shakes her head. Only you.
Dr. Ekman at this point pulls out. Dr. Ekman at this point pulls out a couple of $100, 1 favor, and hands it to Annika and says, "That's for the window." Ow!
Annika slips the money into her pocket. Do you need to feed to heal that? I can ask one of my ghouls to help you out.
That should heal normally, but it's gonna leave me a little bit. Wonky in the head for the next little bit. No matter, we'll get done what we have to do. Dr. Ekman then proceeds to go. Anyway, the important part is now we're going to call. The important part was now that I got the chance to show you my new presentations. I was thinking we could go contact Prince Josiah, so I could take care of some final business. We could take care of some final business with him, and also let him know that you've been appointed to the position of Marques's Ducal Knight. Get him a chance to congratulate you. Sound like a good idea?
That sounds like a good idea. Yep.
Dr. Ekman, sorry, you were saying? You were
No,
saying?
all I said was yep. Sounds like a good idea.
Dr. Ekman pulls out his cell phone and proceeds to contact Josiah, thanks to the eidetic memory of remembering the phone number from the conference call.
It rings a couple of times till his voice comes on the line. Good evening, Dr. Ekman. What can I help you with?
My liege, I finally got the present I wanted ready for you.
A hush falls over the other end of the line. Has it been tested?
Yup. There's only one small glitch with it, which is there's only one small thing, and I owe a certain archangel big time in order to be able to get it working. Here's the thing: you will spend about and Will, this is a call for you because of the fact that the Walt has said that it's a reduced willpower burn, but he didn't specify by how much, so I'm going to put it in here. This will mean that you burn half the willpower you normally would walking in during daylight. You'll be able to stretch the willpower. You'll be able to stretch burning your resolve by a far greater amount. You'll be able to walk in sunlight. This is not the so you won't be harmed by this. The only thing you'll need is one dot of auspex to be able to see outwards as to what's going on around you.
He nods, forgetting that you can't see him through the phone.
Yeah. Dr. Ekman says, my liege, may I come to you to be able to present the gift to you?
You can. Where would you like to meet?
Dr. Ekman says, can you turn on your camera phone by any chance? Can you turn on your camera for me? And point it at your front door, please.
I can remember how to do it. You hear several buttons get pushed, but nothing happens.
Dr. Ekman proceeds to recite exactly what Harry told him the last time about how to locate camera.
He follows the directions until his face appears.
Dr. Ekman says, would you please point that towards your front door for me? Now, I am working at a -2 on my dice right now, so this is going to be a little bit of a nuisance. So this is Wits plus Craft at a reduced with difficulty 8. That failed, going higher again at difficulty 9. I really hate this -2, but we'll give it a try. That one got neutralized, going again to difficulty 10. That was a botch. I can't make any more wormholes. Dr. Ekman says, I'm sorry, my liege, I'll have to come to see you personally. This may take a couple of hours, given the fact that we're currently at Bodhi Island Lighthouse, and I can't activate the space warp anymore.
Do not worry about that. I have means in underway.
All right. Dr. Ekman waits for the relevant aspects, and a couple of hours later, presumably, they're currently at the prince's location.
Actually, no. What happens is a couple of hours later, you hear a helicopter touching down outside.
Dr. Ekman proceeds to walk out with Annika under the cloak, or tosses the cloak over himself and Annika. Do they walk outside?
Yep.
Dr. Ekman is using heightened senses, is using auspex to see through the cloak, and guiding them through along the way. And as the helicopter arrives and Prince Josiah steps out, Dr. Ekman drops the cloak, drops the metamaterial cloak, revealing himself and Annika before the prince.
The prince steps back, slightly surprised, but he steps back and he looks around, noticing that there doesn't appear to be Doesn't appear to be any people out on the beach or at the lighthouse. They seem as he visually and vocally sighs. The next time you do that, make sure there's no one around.
Dr. Ekman says, "I have plan. The only time I have plans of ever using this thing again, of doing that kind of reveal, are at my knighting ceremony by Biltmore." Dr. Ekman proceeds to heft one off his shoulder and hand it and bow on one knee and hand it to Josiah.
Josiah takes it as he looks it over.
Dr. Ekman says, "Go ahead, put it on. Try and see if go ahead and put it on. See if you like it."
He does so very cautiously, but he does so, and you see that it actually ends up fitting him quite well, if not a little snug.
Yep. Now the only problem is, though, is that because of the way the cloak works, does he have? Oh, there's Walt. Just to clarify, because of the fact that this is I lost my train of thought. Because of the fact that this requires Auspex 1 to see out, does the prince have that?
Yes.
Good. Okay. As long as he's got Auspex, that's not an issue. So yeah, the prince can see out of it, and everything's just fine, and he can take a look around. Dr. Ekman actually holds up a mirror in front of the prince. To show that he's
interesting. You said this reflects light?
This bends light around it. It literally bends light around it. Now, the way I've actually got this set up is akin to a two-way mirror, so you can see through it one way but not the other, but it requires Auspex, it requires the first level of Auspex to be able to see out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And you're positive that this has been tested for in sunlight.
I already tested it in sunlight. The only thing I felt initially before the final touches were done by the mages was that I was burning willpower, but since I'm a scientist, I was able to balance it out because it was an experiment. So this will slow the burn. The only possible issue you will have to deal with is that probably you will have to spend about half the willpower you would normally do to stay up during daytime hours. So basically, as opposed to spending your resolve, say 1 iota an hour, you would probably spend 1 iota every 2 hours. Now there is one caveat that Taniqua told me before I gave this out. She said that anytime one of us kindred is going out to observe the daylight or to observe the kind in their day-to-day lives in real life, they said there must be an escort by one of them to make sure there's no feeding during daylight hours. That was the only caveat they said about this.
I'm not surprised with that. Miss Taniqua always has been one for security.
Yep. But yeah, no, I mean, like, this is now consider this yours, my liege. I was also kind of hoping that now that you're here, that we might be able to do that thing, so this way I'm not susceptible to Biltmore's will, shall we say? I'd like to be able to keep my mind free long enough to be able to free him potentially from whatever's controlling him at the present time.
He nods, and you see that he holds up a hand. You see that several people get out of the helicopter, all of them in tactical outfits as well as with carrying assault rifles, and they come up to see the prince, and they escort the three of you back to the building.
Dr. Ekman proceeds to follow, I'm presuming? So yeah, Dr. Ekman and Anna follow the prince.
Yep.
And where do they end up? Back at the prince's safe house?
No, they're back in the building, back at gatekeeper's quarters.
Oh, okay. Back at the lightkeeper's house. Sorry, I'm having a little difficulty hearing. Okay, gotcha. So once they're inside, Dr. Ekman says, "I would rather. I have an idea, my liege, on how to possibly free Biltmore. But to do this, I need to be able to have my mind completely. I need to have my mind immune to dominate in order to be able to make sure that I am to make sure that my mind is clear enough that I can still do this to free him from whatever control he's under.
Josiah strokes his chin for a second. Now, as far as being perfectly immune, I'm afraid that I cannot do that. I'm afraid that that is outside the scope of even with the greatest mastery of the discipline. What I can do, though, I take that back. There's only one way that I know of to make someone completely immune to the discipline. But that would require something that I'm not prepared to do, nor any other kindred in this domain. And I don't even know for sure if that's true. It's only a rumor.
All right. Well, as long as I have my mind clear, as long as I have enough fortitude of mind to be able to resist whatever Dominate Biltmore might try to put on me when he unites me. Harry said something about...
Here's what we can do.
Sorry, you were saying? Sorry, Will, you were saying?
Here's what we can do. You see, Josiah purposefully locks eyesight with you.
Yes.
All right. Then he seems to be... Something seems to be going through his mind, almost as if he's looking for the correct thing to do. And to be honest, he seems a little hesitant about doing this. What is your current willpower?
7.
Right, that is a 3. Right, you feel a prick of sorts within your psyche as well as within your mind. A small, almost as if a small voice is speaking in the back of your mind, a voice that sounds remarkably like Josiah, though you're not quite sure what the voice is saying, if it's saying anything at all. It may even be speaking actual gibberish. You can't really tell.
Uh-huh.
He breaks eye contact with you, but that voice is still in the back of your mind. Though considerably quieter, it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best I can think of to do right now. And as far as that making the pure immunity, there is a rumor that those of older blood than the one attempting to use the discipline might be immune.
So what did you just do then?
I did not make you immune. However, I did make the words that I'm about to give to you very difficult to break.
Okay.
You are your own person. No one may tell you what you can and cannot do. You are still you will remember the traditions. You will raise no hand in violence, save but in your own self-defense. You will resist with what power you can the machinations of my child. That you see, he leans further back into the. He leans further back away from you, completely breaking the entrancement that he has over you, and you hear the voice grow even far quieter, though not completely silent.
Dr. Eckerman smiles. This should be enough to keep me clear for now.
All right, and for game purposes, what he did is he put a conditioning on you, as well as dropping loyalty, or
Uh,
excuse me, obedience on top of it.
so my character is basically his own man, as insofar as he obeys these words.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Excuse me, not obedience. Excuse me, not obedience. Loyalty.
Loyalty. Brilliant. Which means that it will make it a lot harder for which means it'll make it a lot harder for Biltmore to override Dr. Ekman's mind.
Yep.
Dr. Ekman then proceeds to Dr. Ekman says, "My liege, do you have the power of mind reading?"
I do, but it is not particularly well trained.
Dr. Ekman says, "I wish." Sorry, first one, just a second. Sigma, donate the crinkly paper. Sorry, cat. Dr. Ekman.
Should have happened.
Dr. Ekman says, "I wish to show you my entire plan." Dr. Okay, Sigma, quit eating the plastic. Get out from under there. Come on. Come on. Stop eating the paper. Okay, now we're okay. Dr. Ekman says, "I wish to show you my plans for the. I wish to show you my plans for what I have in mind for Biltmore."
Again, he locks eyes with you.
Does he?
And same thing. You feel your mind being pricked.
Yep. As it's being pricked, Dr. Ekman shows a series of visions as to what he has in mind, including that he's spoken to Titsaniqua about setting up a sword for the King Arthur scenario. He shows a flash of the council of dukes, duchesses, and knights of the entire Tarheel state being sitting at a round table with either Biltmore or Josiah, whichever one happens to be in control at the time, at the head. Working as a sort of first among equals, or a classic Knights of the Round Table scenario, complete with all British traditions associated with that, including trials by laws being made no one is above the law, all this kind of thing. And he shows the drawing of the sword, and then finally Dr. Ekman flashes a symbol. Dr. Ekman, well, doesn't show the symbol directly, but he flashes holding up something, and Biltmore, albeit not reacting too much, but the advisor of Biltmore cringing, and he shows all of this, in his head, and in Biltmore's head, including showing the vision of what just happened with regards to the fact that Dr. Ekman will walk in on fire after having appeared out of thin air and showing the sword, and then shutting the fire off. To show that he is the new Merlin to Uther Pendragon and Arthur, and basically, and all of this basically Ekman's plans for the entire knighting ceremony, along with the concept of New Camelot as he envisions it, with both Josiah and Biltmore at the head. Once Biltmore is free, basically the Tarheel state expanded as far as it can possibly go. The vision drops into Josiah's head, including the fact that Dr. Ekman hopes that Josiah will achieve Golconda by the fact that he can now walk in the sunlight and will be able to better understand the human condition.
All right. He takes all of that, but as you're showing him this, your idea of Josiah of Biltmore obtaining Golconda seems to fade from your own mind.
No. It's not Biltmore attaining Golconda. Josiah attaining Golconda.
Okay. Still, it seems to fade from your mind.
Dr. Ekman raises an eyebrow at this, going, "Wait, something's missing."
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, with the limits of the power that I use to read your mind forces me to have to erase something.
May I ask why?
I had to erase something, otherwise the power would have failed dramatically. I chose to erase that which was already going to occur regardless.
Very well. My lord, my liege, what think you of the rest of the vision? Is there any modifications you would require before I go to the knighting ceremony? As you saw, I would request that you are there to oversee this entire thing, as Tarheel is your kingdom, even albeit with Biltmore on the throne right now.
I have no problems being there. Actually, I would greatly appreciate knowing if Biltmore is under some trance. I would greatly appreciate knowing the source. I would request, however, that if you're going to see me there, that a bit of security be in place. As we all know, that I'm not exactly the most liked kindred in the state right now, apparently.
Might I suggest, my liege, bringing your own security detail? But in the process of, but that being aside, I will do my best to keep an eye on you in the process of things, and have my movement of the mind ready to go against any who would dare strike you.
Very well. Now, before we wrap this up, Biltmore has seen to it that you have become his knight. When I decided it was appropriate for me to take the throne back, there is a possibility that I may as well pertain to that same mode of thinking.
Dr. Ekman smiles and says, "That's entirely up to you, my liege. And if Biltmore is Arthur and I serve him as Merlin, I would serve you as as Merlin served Uther Pendragon."
Josiah nods.
And Dr. Ekman smiles and says, "My hope is that this will work out." Also, as well, Dr. Ekman says, "By the way, you did also see my alliance with the mages and the fact that I intend to send Biltmore to their care as soon as I manage to get his mind free during the knighting ceremony?"
That I did, and I'm actually 100% behind this.
Now, one other thing, my liege, I wanted to double check an element of protocol. Marquez said to during a part of the conference call, I remember that Annika here, Dame Annika, when she was promoted to ducal knight, was told that she was to have free reign of Duke Marquez's domain or state when he was away. Now, based on the fact that Biltmore is currently Prince pro tempore, and the fact that he is, and the fact that he will be absent with the mages after, assuming all goes well with this, does that de facto mean that I will have run of Tarheel for a short period of time, unless you would take control again?
What will happen if Biltmore has elected a seneschal? I am not sure if he has, but if he has elected a seneschal, command of the state will default to that seneschal.
Okay.
If he has not, de facto command will default to the council.
All right.
The entire purpose of this ducal knighting, honestly, two reasons. One, I'll give you my belief in the political reason of why Biltmore did it, and I'll also give you the working idea behind it. The working concept is that a knight can rule in the absence of their liege, whilst their liege is away on particular businesses of the domain. That's not to say if their liege has been permanently, as he air quotes, reassigned. That's not to say that any such powers that their liege had automatically defaults to them. Secondarily, the reason why I believe that he has chosen to knight you is to keep his finger on you. I do not believe that he trusts that you are some great power or that you hold any degree of great political clout. And if you do, so be it. But his point in doing this is a political play to keep you in his back pocket.
I understand that, my liege. My hope is, however, is that while he is temporarily reassigned to being healed by the mages, I hope that with this period, I'm hoping that if I understand the political ploy correctly, that my hope is that basically to be able, as for acting in Biltmore's stead for the temporary period, is to take his advisor and have her staked. Take his quote advisor unquote, and once she's been revealed for what she is, have her staked and taken out of the picture quickly enough so that when Biltmore is healthy again, he can come back and reassume whatever position. He can either reassume the Prince Tempore position or whatever position you assign him.
It's funny you mentioned the assigning of positions.
Pardon?
It's funny you mentioned the assigning of positions because last I saw, the East Carolina district is still vacant at Duke.
East Carolina district is still vacant at Duke?
It is. It's the one that Tyson had.
Yes. I suspect I have a suspicion as to Walt. Just to clarify something, Walt, you're here. I need you to pop on mic for a moment. I need you to pop on mic to confirm I'm not metagaming something.
Go ahead.
Remember how my character knocked on the door as Woodrow was there?
Huh?
Is it possible my character heard that Woodrow was vying for the Duke position?
Let me go back.
Like I said, I didn't run that scene, so I don't know.
No, that's why I'm checking with Walt. I want to make sure that I do not. I want to make sure I'm not metagaming before what I say in character. Because if I am metagaming, I won't say it.
All right, this will be your call, Walt.
Yeah, your call.
You would have been close now. Yes.
You're robot, bud.
Yeah, I was going to say you're robotic. Could you please repeat?
If nothing else, shoot it to me on Facebook, and I'll let him know.
All right.
I heard you clearly that time.
Yeah, he's not. It's not holding out enough for him to get through though.
All right, fair enough. Just because I don't. The next thing I say, I don't want to be a metagaming remark, so that's why I'm trying to make sure that I heard that properly.
Yes, you would have heard that. Yes.
Good. Dr. Ekman says, I have a suspicion that a certain Woodrow Dennington may be trying to vie for that ducal position. Now, unfortunately, also due to a crossfire, unfortunately due to him getting caught in the crossfire of my trying to agitate Biltmore to make it easier for my ploys to work, to remove him from the mind control, Woodrow has also decided he's gunning for me.
Any idea why?
His exact words were when he sent me the text. His exact words were, "I'm tired of your shit, Ekman. I'm hunting you now," and that was sent out all across the state.
Funny, I missed that text. As soon as you can, speak with him and get that cleared up, because we don't. The last thing we need is dissension in the ranks.
Yes, about that. I'm not sure he's going to be speaking to me. He's once again burned his phone. I suspect that once again he's probably burned his phone, because when I tried to text him back, I got it meant a message didn't go through, or I didn't get a response. So I'm assuming he's burned his phone again. He's been paranoid ever since I attempted to open a wormhole once to one of his phones. So I don't think I'll be able to track him down, and if he finds me, I'm not sure I'm going to have enough time to be able to speak to him before he tries to sink his claws in him, before he tries to sink his teeth or claws into my face.
There may be need for a third party to mediate.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea.
As I understand, Duke Hargrove was wanting to speak with him. We may be able to get up with Mr. Hargrove and see what he can do to alleviate any potential problems.
Yeah, well, as long as I can, I don't mind working things out. I don't even mind paying because of the accident. I don't even mind paying Woodrow a boon. I just want to make sure that we get this squared away, so this way I can do what is necessary to get Biltmore back under control and deal with the Assamite problem with their newly acquired possibly infernal powers.
The prince cocks his head. Assamite problem.
I received some information from Charlotte, and it doesn't look good. She's tried to tell me to keep it in-house, but I don't remember if she told me not to tell you or not. Actually, out of character, I genuinely don't remember whether or not Charlotte told me. My character would know, though.
She actually said to keep it under wraps.
Oh. Dr. Eckman goes, Dr. Eckman goes, damn it, slip of the tongue again. Well, I might as well tell you now that the cat's out of the bag. Tyson apparently during his infernalism may have done some deals with the Assamites and possibly gave a few powers to them. There's a police report currently going out about how in the Appalachian District a group of high school girls got attacked by what supposedly are what might be powers that have never been seen with a kindred ever having used them before. I've been trying to. Charlotte, my current Primogen, suspects that Biltmore may be somehow involved, but she can't prove anything. That's why I wanted to get him out from under control of whoever was controlling him, because that would also reveal a little bit more about whoever the contacts were that Tyson was working with.
Okay, normally this would be outside the scope of my control. But given the fact that there's a police report going around, this constitutes a possible masquerade breach.
Yeah, well...
Now the Princeton has to become involved.
Yep.
Do you have a copy of that police report?
Dr. Eckman says the copy is with Charlotte, but I have memorized everything in it. And I'm presuming the original police report can be reobtained again. Dr. Eckman pulls his phone out and hands it to Annika. Annika, would you possibly be able to run and check the police reports at such and such location to be able to such and such police district to be able to try to find an online copy of the police report?
Annika hooks Dr. Eckman's phone up to the Wi-Fi that she has running through the Lightkeeper's house and begins searching up the police report. What was the date on that report, Dr. Eckman?
Dr. Eckman recites the relevant date. Again, I have absolutely no idea out of character what date it was.
It was never said in character, so...
No, but it would have been on the report, so that's why my character memorized it.
All right,
and
for the record, in a recorded scene, for the record, the date of the police report is exactly 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
So that is the 6th of June.
Annika proceeds to work some Google magic and let's see.
Computer
I'm gonna
investigation.
probably need to. Yep. Waiting for my computer to respond. but
I said I can roll it if you need me to.
I could easily roll as well.
don't have investigation. I don't have any dots in investigation, but I have dots in computer.
All right, make it a straight computer roll then.
So yeah, intelligence computers I think would be the one that we're looking for.
Yeah. We'll do it. Yeah, do it. Intelligence computers in the
Pardon?
intelligence computers since you don't have any investigation.
2 successes at standard difficulty.
Okay. You're able to locate the server that the police reports are held on, but you keep hitting paywalls.
Dr. Ekman proceeds to come over to the computer, and I'm going to have him roll intelligence computers as well, just to see if he can, as a supplement, find the file.
Okay. Or you've got the file. You have found the file, but
Just we're going to have to pay for it.
Oh, we're going to have to pay for it. Dr. Ekman remembers. Out of character, how many favors is it going to cost to try to get this police report?
Well, less than 1.
Pardon?
Well, less than 1.
Okay.
Okay. What Annika's going to do is she's going to call Sarah into the room to use her credit card to get past the paywall.
Well, they do.
And then repairs.
Dr. Ekman. While she does so, Dr. Ekman quickly pulls out a wad of cash and hands it to Annika to reimburse for the bill.
Don't worry about it. Annika waves her hand. I haven't spent much this month, so.
It ends up costing you literally $25.
All right. So yeah. So it's costing $25. So we get the file, presumably.
Yeah.
Dr. Ekman proceeds to print off the file, and as the file is printed off, Dr. Ekman hands it to the prince. Everything's in there, like I told you.
The file actually ends up being several pages because whoever took this report did it in a very detailed fashion. The file ends up being about 6 pages worth of report.
Yeah, Dr. Ekman.
The prince begins to thumb through it, skimming over it. Now this could be a problem.
Yeah, and Charlotte told me to keep this under wraps. I wonder why.
Because she's a Tremere.
Yeah, I knew there was a catch to this. Anyway, this is now part of the thing is she also told me she suspects that Biltmore is somehow involved in this, but she can't prove anything. That's why I was planning on getting Biltmore. That was why I was planning on getting Biltmore contained from whoever's manipulating him. Because if we
have to determine who is manipulating him.
Pardon?
But we have to determine who, if anyone, is manipulating him.
I have my suspicions, and we'll have proof soon enough one way or the other, Dr. Ekman says. I've got a little security measure just in case with regards to this that will come up during my knighting ceremony. But my suspicions are that lady that new lady aide he's been having involved, who's been consistently whispering in his ear, I suspect that she's the front person for whoever's been manipulating.
Did she show up out of the blue unannounced?
Yeah, pretty much.
Good chance of it then.
Yep. And my hope is to be able to expose her directly in front of the entire court.
If you do this and it fails, you realize this is going to be both political career and possible literal suicide.
Oh, like I said, if this goes the way the mages have told me, she'll cringe deliberately, and everyone will she will cringe, and it will be exposed. If this doesn't work, however, then more likely than not, yeah, I'm going to be dead in short order. But I've just got 1 or 2 final aspects to take care of. I will instruct the mages to make sure that my technology goes into the hands of Harry Wallace and Annika Bergstrom to take care of and deal with as they see fit. And otherwise, I'm ready to go. So we'll let the chips fall where they may.
Very well. Now, the next time you speak to Charlotte, I know nothing of this police report.
Got it.
I barely even know that it exists.
Got it. Not to worry, my lips are sealed. And at this, Dr. Eckerman locks eyes with Prince Josiah to make sure that the dominate actually stays in effect and the loyalty stays in effect, so he actually will obey this command with regard to Charlotte.
Don't worry, you don't have to maintain the eyesight at this point. That's only to apply it.
Got it. But even so, just better safe than sorry. I wanted to make sure I got it locked in there. Dr. Ekman says, with that in mind, my liege, thanks again for putting me for imposing a bit more control over my mind to make sure that I have control for when dealing with Biltmore and whoever's controlling him. But with any luck, we'll have the fourth person exposed in quick order and promptly contained as soon as possible to be able to get in the information we can about who's backing her.
Very well. Just be very careful.
Annika's phone gets a notification noise on it. Whatever her notification ring is.
Mm-hmm. She checks
When you look at it, it in the front line, it's a string of characters. The message reads, "You could have asked me for the report, Red Owl."
Annika responds back, all right. You could have told me earlier. She's clearly confused about who the message might be from.
You get another characters from line that says,
you're scrambling, Walt. I can't hear you.
Dang it.
You get a message that says, "Show this to Cal."
Okay, yeah. She shows it to Cal.
Cal takes one look at it and goes, "Yeah, David was probably a little jealous that you went and did this yourself." Hands it back to her.
Oh.
Dr. Ekman at this point, to go over the final details, pulls a card out of his pocket and promptly thinks a line. Taniqua, Eric, want to run one final aspect of this by you, and then we're good to go.
You get a chorus of two voices. What?
Just wondering if you guys have the sword ready for the. For the presentation.
Got it right here. You hear Eric in your head.
Dr. Ekman says.
By the way, nobody else hears this.
Dr. Ekman responds again in his head. I'm currently at Annika's place right now. Can you guys just drop it off at my lab and I'll pick it up when I get back?
Already there.
Thanks, Dr. Ekman says, and basically, Dr. Ekman cuts the line. As he returns back to the prince, Dr. Ekman says, "My liege, is there anything else that you probably should need of me at this time?"
Only a request from me to you to keep your head down and play safe.
Not to worry. I will be staying in my lab probably for the next little while, unless I'm bouncing out for something specific. I had been contemplating trying to put actually. Oh, that was the other thing. Dr. Ekman fires off a mental text message back to Eric. Hey, Eric, wanted to double check something with you. I've got someone currently after me right now who might jeopardize our plans before I've been able to put things through for Biltmore. Is it possible that if I manage to set things up, I can send them to you for you to look after them for a little while? and basically recites everything that he knows about Dannington, about Woodrow going after his ass right now because of a miscommunication.
And what is the John?
Sorry, could you say that again, Walt? You broke up.
You did a little bit also. What did you say at the very end?
What did I say at the very end?
What you wanted them to do?
Oh, Dr. Ekman says what I needed you guys to do was to basically I was going to send him to the church. I was going to send him to the church if you guys were okay with it, and then you guys could take over looking after him, possibly boost his humanity, whatever. See if you guys could basically keep him out of the way for a little while until such time as I've dealt with things with Biltmore.
We will not be responsible for what happens to him should you send him. We have seen what he does.
Dr. Ekman realizes that that might actually mean that Woodrow gets killed in the process, and he doesn't want that. Dr. Ekman says, "Damn it," out loud as he's going with this.
The prince, who has been watching all of this quietly, just raises an eyebrow.
Dr. Ekman turns to him and says, "I had an idea as to where to send Woodrow to keep him safe for the next little while, but the problem is that unfortunately sending him there might wind up getting him killed, and I don't want that."
No, you don't, because that would definitely look bad on your political career.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm looking for right now.
Well, let me hear the voice. He wants to send him to us. That's Eric talking to me, by the way.
Terrible idea, Dr. Ekman.
Yeah, no, fair enough. All right, I'll just have to go with the conventional and hope that I can square things away with Woodrow. I'll just have to owe him a boon.
All right.
But for now, I'll keep my head.
Anything else you had for me, Dr. Ekman, Dame Bergstrom?
No, my liege. I believe we've got everything covered for now.
I believe that's everything that we needed to discuss.
Very well.
With that, Dr. Ekman is going to open a wormhole through the front door of the Keeper's Lighthouse back to his lab. That wormhole is still entangled from earlier, so I can adjust just to manipulate. Will, am I still on reduced dice load?
Yes.
All right, so that's going to be 5 dice, not 7, which means at the end of the scene, next scene, I'll be able to set a couple of hours. Oh, damn it! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At difficulty 8 to open the wormhole and go home. One of those got neutralized, but that's still 2 successes to open the wormhole. Dr. Ekman opens the front door. Dr. Ekman opens the front door and says, "I'll be in touch again to keep an eye on things, and I'll be staying to my lab for the most part until such time as the knighting ceremony goes off. As long as Woodrow doesn't kill me at the knighting ceremony, we should be fine."
Important note.
I don't think he would kill you in open Elysium.
Yeah, I don't know how angry he is right now. Better safe than sorry. Sorry, Walt, you were saying important notes?
When you look into your lab, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Carry on.
Dr. Ekman says, "Yeah, well, with any luck, better safe than sorry. Annika, I'll catch you later." And with that, Dr. Ekman proceeds to turn back and look into his lab as he's about to close the door behind him.
When you look in the lab, you see a rather large boulder in the middle of your lab with a sword sticking in it.
Dr. Ekman checks, and Dr. Ekman calls back to Eric. "Is this thing going to be more than half a ton to move?"
Call us. We'll move it.
Pardon?
You're welcome.
Thanks.
You get the voice back. Call us. We'll move it. You're welcome.
Dr. Ekman smiles and says, "Thanks again." And with that, goes back to his lab. He also has one more thing to do, which we'll deal with while we're in scene. No, actually, how close is it to daylight by now?
It's real time, so it's 11:30 p.m. in Carolina right now.
Okay, so we'll have to set the I'll have to set the other scene for close to daylight later. Not to worry, it's not important right now. Dr. Ekman proceeds to could somebody check to see if PJ's online?
Did not see him.
All right, I'll have to set that for a separate scene then. Dr. Ekman proceeds to go back to his lab, and we'll flip scenes back to the Bodie Island Lighthouse.
The prince having, or Josiah having concluded business, Annika, you'll see that he returns to the chopper, and they leave off into the night. As you see him off, the chopper grows smaller and smaller in the distance until it completely disappears.
Mhm. Okay.
So does with that the scene end, or is there anything else to do?
If Annika doesn't have anything she'd like to do.
Nope. There's not really anything that I had planned, so.
All right.
Annika goes back into the lighthouse and closes the door.
And with that, the scene ends.